Hey, Facebook family, how are you all doing today? This is actually Monday, and as my friend Eric Thomas, I'm actually wearing his shirt today, says, thank God it's Monday, right? Everybody says, thank God it's Friday, but today I'm going to say, thank God it's Monday. Hey, Michael. So I want to talk to you guys, hear me do a lot of teaching out of John Maxwell's book, The 15 Laws of Growth, and I'm very astute when it comes, hey, Christy, to the law of intentionality. But one of the cool things that I've learned about recently that a lot of people are not very clear on is the law of awareness. And that's the second law in John's book. And there's a quote from James Lowell, and he says, no one can produce things who is not thoroughly sincere in dealing with himself or their self. So in this second law that John talks about, the law of awareness, I took some notes that really related to me and some other quotes for some people. And what I found out is that he sums it up like this, right? Awareness is knowing where you are now, knowing where you want to go, and knowing what you need to get from where you are now to where you want to go. So let me recap that. Knowing where you are now, knowing where you want to go, and knowing what you need to get from where you are now to where you want to go. And I love what he said. He said most people kind of drift through life. They never really access where they are and where they want to be. And they just end up with really no intention of reaching their or becoming that best version of themselves or really doing what they want to do, right? And you guys hear this all the time, most people work 40 years doing a job that they really hate, that never fulfills their goals. And so many people did do that. Like, I look at my mom, for instance, like I think she just did a job because she was good at it, but it didn't really fulfill her, right? And so Dr. Maxwell says to prevent this, we have to be fully aware, law of awareness, right? Where we are right now, what our circumstance is, what God has given us in life. Maybe it's a loss of a loved one, or maybe it's a new career. Maybe it's you actually stepping into that place where you are now with a vision and a purpose of getting to where you want to go, right? You can have the best GPS in the world, but if you can't tell it where you are now, you have no chance of getting where you want to go. You guys hear that? You can have the best GPS in the world, but if it can't tell you where you are now, there's no chance that it'll tell you how to get where you want to go. So I like this. He says, in order to figure out both where you are now and where you want to go, Dr. Maxwell suggests figuring out 3 questions. He actually says 2, and I found a couple different readers came up with kind of a third one that will really help with that. It says, number 1 was asking, what do you enjoy doing? Okay, I say that we pray about that and find out what really gives us satisfaction. And what are you good at? One of my mentors, Cole Hatter, says all the time, never get too engrossed in teaching what we're not good at. Hey, what's up, Nicholas? But focus on things that we are good at, right? He actually says, find somebody you can pay to do things that you're not good at if you can, right? So one of the other things is he says that, this third question that you can add in there is, what will other people pay you to do? Because it doesn't matter how much you enjoy something that you're good at or how good you are at it if no one's willing to pay you to do it. I know that hurts some people, but or really to produce it. So finding out these 3 questions, there's areas that you can allow yourself to grow, to become more clear of what your vision, your purpose. Like we had a meeting this morning with our team, with myself and Lisa and Sebastian. And Jay just came back from being at the Facebook headquarters for 3 days, and I'll just tell you, my mind's completely blown away at the questions. He used our brand with all the top people. He just came back with the different aspects. He actually came back and met me at the gym this morning, said, I want to work out 3 days a week. Obviously going to do other stuff on his own, but he wanted to work out with me 3 days a week. So coming back with the thought process of being intentional and being aware of where we are now and where we're going. A lot of people will have the thought process. Like, I'll give you this cool example. So this morning, I had the privilege of interviewing my friend Yost Jansen, who I met through Nicholas Barely, for our private men's platform, right? And we're going to do some really cool things together. I'm going to talk to him more about that in the coming weeks. But you know, he talked to me about a finance course that I'd really love to do with him and learn. Hey, Beth. Hey, Naj. Hey, Karen. Hey, Christy. So a lot of things that you can do when it comes to being aware of where you are, whether you want to create a great podcast or find people that are like-minded like you. Like one of the things that Yost and I were talking about is how when we surround ourselves with people who have that same mindset, you can be very proficient at helping other people get what they want, and in turn you get what you want. You learn and grow, and that GPS kind of takes you to the next level when it comes with that. So if you guys can remember this as you think about these laws of awareness and just figuring out those 3 questions, and let me just recap them so you guys can understand. What do you enjoy doing? What are you good at? And third thing, what will other people pay you to do? Because it doesn't matter how much you enjoy doing something or how good you are at it if no one's willing to pay you to do it, right? I'm passionate about what I'm doing because I feel I'm one of the best at what I do. I feel I'm one of the best in my industry ever to be able to help people become the best version of themselves, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, right? And in turn, I become better at that myself. So I hope this encouraged you guys to go out and create not only the law of intentionality, but the law of awareness. The law of awareness is huge when you realize where you're at and where you're going. And as part of this recap, I just want you guys to remember this. This was one good quote that I want you to think about, okay? You can have the best GPS in the world, but if you can't tell it where you are now, you have no chance of getting where you want to go. So it's why I always say you should do a self-examination of where you are now and get where you want to go. It's just like having this office and doing the things that we're doing and putting systems into place and getting things in order so that we can launch our He-Fluence business. And then we're going to take all that stuff and put it into our biohacking business and just have massive launches over April, May, June, and July, right? And so that's what you have to do. You have to find out where you're supposed to be and where you are now and where you're going and where God's taking you. And I feel like I need to finish with this. I had this really cool dream that God was with me in my dream, and he showed me visually these doors, right? A long row of doors, right? Like, you know, just one right after the other. And I said, what is that? And he said, that's your life, right? And I said, why are some doors, you know, closed and some are open? He said, that's your life. I said, why are some partially open? He said, because you put your foot in doors and trying to close. I was like, oh, well, that's not fun, right? So it's like I spoke to a young boy yesterday that just recently had a massive encounter with God, like a true biblical born again experience, transformation, deliverance, set free, and just the peace that comes from that. He now has vision and a purpose to know where he's going and the steps to get him there because he realized where he is now. Okay? So I hope that encourages you guys. Just look, be super encouraged, because as you make changes in your life and you realize where you are now and where you're going, makes that GPS a lot more easier to follow. So I hope that encouraged you guys. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully, maybe later today. You never know. Guys, have a great day. God bless you.